several friends right now on waiting lists, waiting for a phone call for a child that they desperately want to have, and multiple children I know they would take into their homes. So there are people willing to adopt. So I would say in these cases where there are abortions no longer happening, is people will have adoption. There will also be people not getting pregnant if abortion can't be a backup. So there will be people who will not be in the situation anymore where they were considering abortion. And ultimately, with the kids in the foster care system now, may we kill them because they're in the foster care system and aren't in families? No. Well, likewise, we can't kill the preborn child because they, could go into the foster care system because they're just as human. So if you have a question, please raise your hand. Mackenzie with the brown sweater. Oh, you got one?
Yeah, I guess it's like I want to make a statement and then just see how you react to it. But
okay.
When you set it up, your discussion in terms of the fetus is a baby, is a life, you're sort of in fundamental opposition with a lot of people, I think all the folks behind me, who think of the fetus as a fetus and the right of a woman as a fundamental right that needs to be protected. Right?
Yes.
So when you set up an argument like this, and you're sort of couching it in these terms of acceptance and, doing the right thing, you are fundamentally taking away the right that a lot of these people believe in of the woman to decide what to do with her own body. And this is not an issue of you slapping your hand and hitting someone in the face. I mean, this is a fundamental issue that I don't believe a fetus at 3 weeks is, until a fetus is viable, is an actual life.
Right.
So we are very fundamentally opposed to this. So how do you deal with that sort of argument?
I think it's a great point, and I can understand where you're coming from, and I can understand why this would be offensive to anyone who does not perceive this to be a life. Because if this isn't a life, I absolutely am taking away something that seems to be reasonable to the average person, right? So I would say it really comes down to what evidence we have for whether this is a life or not. And Jess here has been able to give me the embryology textbook authored by Maureen Prasad, an embryology textbook used in medical schools across North America. And this textbook clearly states life begins at fertilization, that each of our lives began as a zygote, not as a sperm, not as an egg, but began as a zygote. So I look to what the scientific community is telling me about when life begins, and because it tells me it begins at fertilization, that means since it's a human being, I can't argue that it's my right to kill someone. So for the other side to make a case, what they have to do is convince me that the scientific community is wrong about life beginning at fertilization. Any other questions? Go ahead.
Hello, my name is William Abney. I'm an alumni here, and I studied history here at the university. Okay, in Nazi Germany, if a woman had an abortion, she was executed and so was the doctor. In the deep South where I grew up, the poor black person was being lynched. If a woman had an abortion, she went to prison, and the doctor went to prison. So therefore, you're actually on the same side as the Nazis and the Ku Klux Klan. So the whole little thing here to try to stop people, it doesn't really work if you're a victim. You are the new high. You are trying to tell women what to do with their body. If I see a 3 women decide if they want to have a kid or not, and get off their back. It's hard to male dominated religion, by the way, so that puts you in the war.
When you're seeing the religion, you see the male conversation on the female first. But if you look at history, when the Holocaust occurred, what did the Nazis do? They said Jews were non-persons. At the time of lynching and slavery in America, what did society say? Blacks aren't persons. They said they're subhuman. So what is parallel here and what is consistent with history is that today, presently in America, the preborn child is not considered a person, is deemed to be subhuman. Hitler called Jews parasites. The very thing that Warren Hurd, an abortionist in America, analogizes the preborn child to, a parasite. So the Nazis dehumanized individuals. They stripped away their right to life. That's not what we're doing.